It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Industry with J Nolan. All my insiders, what's good? How y'all doing tonight? This is the prime time, okay? It's 8 o'clock, prime time. We're going to be talking about Joe Budden. We on your head, sir. Pause. Now, y'all know just a couple days ago, I talked about Joe and his assessment, we'll say, of female rap. He basically said that the female rap wave is over. And in so many words, he felt like a lot of the women that we're seeing today are about to go through the fall off process. And he also felt as though labels are starting to disinvest or divest from the female rap space, right? Basically saying that they cost too much money. There's too much overhead to get them glammed up, keep them with a stylist, hair and makeup, all of that good stuff, right? Not to mention having to travel with these people, right? So that becomes part of the entourage and all of that. So I understand that there's money and there's a lot at stake when it comes to female artists. Definitely costs more than the average guy who could just throw on one of these t-shirts I got on now, throw on a leather jacket, throw on a hat, do whatever the fuck you want to do, and it's pretty much accepted. You might get laughed at in the blogs for having a whack outfit on, but you live to fight another day and niggas ain't really gonna trip off of it. Throw a chain on, the chain makes everything look better. So I get it. However, I definitely publicly disagreed with Joe. There's so many successful women in hip hop right now. I don't see that ending anytime soon. I don't see the labels completely disinvesting out of that because the interest is in female rap. The ladies are controlling the narrative. A lot of the guys that are dropping music right now, they're barely even making headlines. They're barely even making Twitter headlines at that. It's boring. It's not happening. The interest in male rap is just dissipating for the most part. Unless you're Drake, Travis Scott, or of that multi-platinum scent air, you're not really in the conversation. You know what I mean? J. Cole is in that conversation. Kendrick Lamar, whenever he decides to drop, is in that conversation. There's polarizing figures like Lil Yachty who, you know, he drops and people say what they say about his music, but it doesn't really translate into the numericals. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely doesn't generate into public interest all that much. There's certain outliers like Tizo Touchdown. I'm not even sure I would consider him hip hop. You know, he does like an alternative brand of music and then sometimes he raps. So even with him, he got one debut album. So anyway, Joe Budden basically said that. Now, in his new episode, which was uploaded, I believe yesterday and now is on YouTube today, he kind of doubled down on that sentiment, but he went into a little bit more detail and he said, you know what? I don't just mean the females in rap. I think hip hop as a whole is about to take a new shape. A lot of you motherfuckers are about to fall off, period. I was being lenient by just saying the women, but I got the chopper out for a lot of you motherfuckers. Now, with this stance, I don't fully disagree. I've been talking about how a lot of shit is finna change in hip hop, in the music industry, period. How the world music is coming into fruition. How these different people from other places, they're coming into America. They're doing English music and they're basically taking the influence of the music that we've already created within our genres and they're running with the shit on an international level. That is definitely a wave. That is definitely something that's happening. A lot of people in the industry are investing into AI and all this different shit. But I don't see that taking over real people. I don't see that taking over consumers on a widespread level. But let's get into what Joe Budden had to say, okay? Because I can easily say my piece, but let's see what this nigga got to say, okay? Now, we're also going to address some statements that he said about Russell Simmons and Usher. There's been a lot of controversy about that, how Russell Simmons had Usher out there in Bali with him, or how Usher traveled out to Bali to be with Russell Simmons. More specifically, as y'all know, Russell has been basically canceled in the States due to all of the sexual assault allegations that he had on him throughout the years. There's multiple lawsuits, multiple cases, multiple instances in which, you know, women came out and said that Russell Simmons was imposing his will on them, whether it be in the workplace, whether it be others that he came across throughout his travels. Russell, as we know, moved to Bali, separated himself from all of his companies, sold his interests, and got the fuck up out of here, right? So people are looking at Usher with the side eye like, hey, bro, you sure that's the nigga you want to be hanging out with? I want to be taking photos with? Like, huh? The alleged serial rapist? That's who you want to be hanging out with? But as we know, Usher still hangs out with Diddy, and he's been through a lot with him. A lot of people feel like Diddy groomed him, showed him some very questionable shit at a young age. Hell, he's come out and admitted that he saw some questionable shit at a young age living with Diddy. I don't know how the fuck this happened, but whatever. We're going to get to that shortly, okay? First thing is going to be about Joe and his comments about female rap and how he's doubling down and now spraying a chopper at everyone in the industry.
Yo, I got a whole lot of flack this week for saying that the girl rap wave is over.
You didn't think that was going to happen?
I mean, I don't think about that stuff. I don't think when I'm talking because I mean it from the bottom of my heart and my soul. I'm not talking because I'm about trying to hit a lick. So if they take it, they take it. But I do know that the women topics and the blogs are women centric. So I know that they grab those. If we ever say something about any girl rapper, they're going to try to take it and go. And some of these girls rappers teams take it and go.
I think you meant something different, but I think you kind of had to look into what you were overall trying to say.
I think you're specifically talking about the build-a-rapper syndrome, no?
Because the Nickies, the Rhapsodies, the people that really go.
I was talking about but I'm not talking about them. Who cares about them? I'm talking about the label's interpretation of women rap. And it's not just about women rap. When I was around, when Nelly got popping, all the labels, the industry is reactionary.
Yeah, that's copycat.
So
copycat
they run to St. Louis and try to find everybody dope. When Beans got popping, they ran to Philly. So they ran to the women.
He's actually making really good points right now. He's basically equating the female rap wave to say, okay, when we kind of entered this era in 2017, 18, we saw the Cardi B's. We saw some other artists that have blown up since then, the Megan Thee Stallions, the City Girls. Of course, Nicki Minaj has always pre-existed all of this, so we're not going to put her in that conversation, but she's continued to excel throughout the duration of that time, right? So that's kudos. That's a salute for all you barbs out there to be jumping in my comments trying to get crazy. That is a salute, okay? She is the top female rapper. I've never said anything different. And because she is that, we judge her on a different scale than everybody else. It's just the way it is. But with to whom much is given, much is tested. It's required. Okay? Moving along. We saw the success of this new crop of female rappers, right? Those that were willing to take that chance and actually invest into them. They won big. And from there, a lot of labels since then, especially from 2020, 21 up to now, there's a lot of different artists, women artists that have been signed. They've been put in the studio with all the top producers. They've been what they say on the Joe Budden podcast as builder rappers, basically, giving them the starter kit look, getting them with select producers who happen to be excelling in the female rap arena, like London on the Track or different guys like that. Youngberg, Hitmaker, different shit. And it's like, okay, it's open season. You gotta have women on your label. This is what the people want. So he's saying that this is kind of a trend. Similar to how when Beanie Siegel came out and showed people how Philly had talent, the label started going into Philly, sending representatives to go sign, hey, we need the next Beanie Siegel. Right? Nelly blows up. Labels go and they start looking for Chingy. Start looking for Jaquan. They don't have that same electricity as Nelly, but they were successful. They were able to get some hits out. Right? So he's likening all of these things to each other. Not bad points, but I still think his original point is not standing very strongly. But let's keep going.
And they did it. I'm saying now, No. And
the bubble burst.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it.
I'm not saying there will still be women rappers.
That's nice.
There will still be all of your Bias and Dojas and Megs and Cardis and Lottos and Glorilla. I love that new Glorilla song. I love that Glorilla song.
I love every remix.
Ice Spice, the people that snuck in, Lady London, the people that snuck in, y'all are there already. But I don't think that the labels are actively out there looking for the next big girl rapper. The next one, and it's not just the women, because that's...
So, in summation, before he goes into his next point, he's basically saying, for you women out there that are trying to get on today, right? For the ladies that are in the studio trying to break through, trying to get noticed by, you know, these different agencies, different management groups, and you have aspirations of getting signed to Sony, RCA, Def Jam, Universal, Interscope, all of these places. He's saying it's about to get tougher for y'all to actually receive those deals. Again, I disagree. I personally met somebody who got signed to Interscope without having no music, a female rapper. My homie introduced me to her. Well, didn't introduce me to her, but he connected me to her, I should say. We're not friends or anything like that, but we've spoken. And I was fucking flabbergasted. I'm like, how the fuck did her and this girl? And he's like, yo, they just basically signed them because they look good. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women that have snuck in and gotten those deals, and they're probably not announcing that they got the deal. They might be in situations where the label's telling them to hold off, you know, kind of industry plant type shit. Hold off from announcing that we've signed you. We're going to put some records out on you, test the market, and then once you start getting some traction, we'll go ahead and announce that you signed even though you've been with us for 2 years type shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I personally have seen it happen. It took a while for me to personally see it happen, but the shit is still going on. Okay?
That's where y'all had me fucked up. Our conversation took off when I said that about the women, but I think much worse. Like, I try to come in here and filter my thought. I think much worse about the music business. I think all of them are over.
It's down bad.
I think all of your favorite artists are finito and finished. I don't think none of these people are making any coin from the music business. I don't.
I agree with that. That's kind of what I've been saying.
I
That's
think
why
it's
they finding other avenues to get their money.
I think it's much worse than we letting on. We don't even have no way to get this type of information because it's all at the tippy top, and we don't talk to each other.
And it's tech games.
They gearing up for whatever is to come, and they're a lot earlier than I knew.
They've been playing. They've been playing for years. Like, seeing the big press outlets bigging up certain types and styles of music has been an indicator to me, where musicianship, performance, like actually being good at being a musician, has been cast aside for years and years and years, but slowly getting worse. It's kind of opening the door for AI everything, essentially.
AI everything is not going to be a thing. Everybody's trying to invest into AI. They think it's going to replace motherfuckers. All these companies are starting to get what they're doing is, like I said, I've told y'all numerous times, these companies are definitely getting upcoming artists, rising artists, independent artists to come in and feed their AI. Recently, somebody that I know in the industry passed along an opportunity for me, said, hey, I'll just let you know, this is what's going on if you're interested. And, you know, it looked like TikTok is looking for artists to record demos using some of their software. And, you know, it's kind of like AI collaboration and whatever. And they kind of taking it to where whomever they like out of the batch of artists that are using the AI software and all of this different shit, you know, they're willing to kind of not necessarily do a deal with you, but they're kind of willing to put you on Front Street, right? They're going to help you promote your music. They're probably going to take a ownership share in your music because you're using their proprietary software and whatnot and feeding their AI, which ultimately is the main thing, right? You're feeding into the AI so that they're going to own a portion of that, and they're going to take your voice and feed it into the algorithm, and then they're going to create AI bot music out of your shit. However, I don't think that real people have a taste or an interest or a craving to hear Robotnik ass music. You want to connect with somebody real. Let's be honest. Half of the draw for the artists that people really like and love and have an emotional connection to is either based on physical attraction, right? People listen to people that they like seeing and looking at, right? That drives a lot of it because you want to go see them in concert. You want to, maybe not us as adults, but younger folks, they want to put you on their wall. They want to have your shit around. They want to look like you, right? So that's part of it. And then the other half is the emotional connection to what it is that you bring to the table, whether it be your voice, whether it be the things that you talk about, or your attitude. You might be a carefree ass motherfucker and it's like, I want to live like that. I like this motherfucker, right? All of those things, all of those intangibles are not going to get delivered to you through some AI ass, generated ass, random ass song that you just hear and it's like, oh, this is a boppy bop. Yeah, you're going to get the boppy bops, but there's boppy bops all over the place that nobody gives a fuck about. So the industry could invest all the millions of dollars they want. They're going to lose it.
So
They've been building up to
They, they are a lot earlier.
They started this back a half decade ago, maybe a decade ago.
That's not to say nobody cares about AI music. There is a Spanish AI artist that's actually doing pretty decent, but nobody really talks about it. But of course, all that shit could be manufactured too.
Than I could have ever imagined. I'm with you. I think there's a focus on streaming. AI, I think there's a focus on just replacing you guys, the
Human
artists.
beings, right?
Yeah.
The artists. They got, I think there's a focus on the world music, Latin and country and all of whatever their hot genre is. What else do I think? I just think rap is cast aside. The 50 years of hip hop told me that. How much of the pie there even is to distribute amongst artists tell me that. The way albums don't drop anymore tells me that. All of you artists getting your money from somewhere else tells me that. Last year, no #1 hip hop album for however long tells me that.
6-7
The
months.
#1s that came tells me that. Travis, Uzi, Drake. There's only 7.
All right. So he's saying there's only 7 artists in hip hop that they really care about, right? Now, I will say, artists like Drake, artists like Travis Scott, these are the guys that low-key are signing everybody's paychecks. Not literally, because they don't make the money or spend the money, or they don't spend the money, right? But they generate enough money off their backs, right? When their album drops and it goes platinum instantly, the whole album goes on Billboard, shit like that. That creates budgets, right? That creates a slew of revenue for the label to say, okay, we just made however many millions off of Drake, Travis Scott, Uzi Vert, etc. Now we got this pool of bread that comes in because, of course, the touring, all the endorsements, all of that other shit feeds into that too, especially depending on their deals. To say, all right, we have X amount of dollars we can invest into signing new artists this year. So we're going to get this one, this one, this one, and this one. So what he's saying is the well is about to dry up because we're getting less and less superstar artists that can feed into the label system to keep people getting signed. Not to mention, a lot of the industry is getting laid off. We've seen this across the major labels in the last couple of weeks. A lot of people that work in the industry no longer have jobs and probably won't have them for quite some time because the openings ain't going to be open in no time soon. So a lot of people are going to have to get out here and start their own companies, partner up to start their own companies, or have to go into other industries.
There's 7 rappers that they focus on. Some because y'all are truly talented and make people all the money in the world. Some because too many people have their hand in your pocket to let you fail. But everybody else, if you're not getting it touring or if you're not getting it through other means, This music shit is a rap. I'm saying all of the musicians are broke. Relative to what you bring in.
Now, I do think that there is plenty of ways to make money as independents. Low overhead. It's not expensive to make these albums. You're making them at home or wherever, and you're building a reasonable fan base, and you're selling physical and merch. Not everyone is broke, but in terms of like the superstar thing, I agree with you.
But like you said, to what you're bringing in, what you getting.
And my conversation now is not really about independent acts.
All right, so we're not going to sit up here and listen to the entirety of the conversation on this subject, but that's pretty much the gist of it. From there, they get into music industry layoffs and all of these different things, but here we have Joe Budden doubling down on his stance in female rap. He says that a lot of y'all, some of y'all will stay, but a lot of y'all that are expecting to get signed and come into the industry and duplicate the success that you've seen from others, he's saying that's out. Then he comes back around, reloads the clip and says, as a matter of fact, there's only 7 artists, 7 rappers that we really, that really are generating the breadwinners, right? There's only 7 breadwinners in hip hop. Everybody else falls under that umbrella and is kind of getting the windfall effects off of that. So he's saying pretty soon, all you motherfuckers are going to be finished. Also, I don't know. I kind of beg to differ. I think that this thing is going to be going on much longer than we expect. People like Joe Budden, I think he has a little bit of a negative, a negative connotation, negative outlook on things based on his experience in the industry, based on maybe some of the people he knows. But a lot of the people that he knows that call in on the show that work in the industry, they're always telling him how great things are going. I don't know if they're lying for front-facing public type shit, but I don't think he's completely accurate. I think he makes some good points, but for the most part, there's a lot of doom and gloom in what he's saying. And as far as the money part, I think a lot of people would be surprised to see what the artists actually have in their bank account, how they're living in real life outside of the rented cars, rented homes, rented everything. If you just saw how people were living on a real baseline level, I think our perspective of the industry would definitely be a lot different. Okay, now let's get into Joe Budden's response to Usher's vacation in Bali with Russell Simmons, because the shit is just nasty work, you know what I'm saying? But like I said in the beginning, Usher has aligned himself with some very questionable people in the industry, people that were influential to him at a very young age that he's still aligned with. He's not necessarily going to end his friendship or brotherhood with these people because they were pillars in his success or pillars in his upbringing. It doesn't look good. It doesn't register good on camera. It doesn't look good when you put it into the light. But, how do you tell people to disconnect with somebody who may have a different experience, right? We don't know if Russell Simmons has touched Usher in the way that he touched those women, right? He may see him as, hey, I've never seen him act like that in front of me. I don't know him to be that person. And until I do, I'm going to support and be around. I think a lot of people take that stance in real life, especially in the real world where, hey man, outside of social media, niggas really be cool with the predators. Niggas really be real chummy with the predators. Let's keep it honest. But let's get to it.
Go.
1 second. We're going to have to, I got to talk through the ad and shit because I'm playing this shit right from YouTube.
Where do we go? No.
Go to Bali.
Bali.
Going to Bali.
Usher went to Bali.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Well,
Now, I don't know what side I'm on with this. So let me hear where y'all are at first so I know who to debate or not debate.
I think from a PR perspective, it was probably a poor decision. I don't think there's anything wrong with going to Bali.
I don't think you would
From a PR perspective, it's a terrible decision. Like coming off the Super Bowl, coming off of a new album, coming off all the hype, all the support, all the love and endearment that the people poured onto Usher. And the first thing you do is go hang with that nigga?
ever done it before the Super Bowl.
That's a good point.
But now that the Super Bowl's over and my album is out,
Yeah, you right.
Yeah, that nigga letting his motherfucking hair down. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Fuck it.
And Bali is fire.
Bali is fire.
I'm sure Russell's got a nice place.
Little something.
I've
Joe.
heard
Yeah, he got a nice place. He called himself a ballionaire.
It was amazing.
Fam. This just proved what I told y'all last week.
What?
Last pod. They love this nigga. So everybody's turning a blind. If that was anybody else, they would be killing this nigga left and right.
Oh, they're killing him a little bit.
No, they're not killing him. A very little bit.
I thought you said something else. So I'll say it. They love Russell Simmons.
That part too.
I'm going to say it, yo.
That's true.
I know that y'all don't want to say it and y'all don't want to admit to it. I know people seen whatever doc they seen. People believe what they believe. There's nothing y'all could do to make people stop loving Russell Simmons.
That's true.
Not a thing in the world.
And the powers that
Not
be.
a thing in the universe is going to make people stop loving
true.
Russell Simmons for as many lives as he impacted as one man.
I understand what he's saying. Let's be honest. Let's be clear. Let's fucking clear the table, clear the floor, right? I understand what he's saying. I disagree. I don't think that should be as impactful as what the negative effects are on others. When you step into sexual assault, SA, all of that different type of shit, all of your positive attributes are stripped. Or at least should be. They are in my eyes. But he makes an understandable point to say he's affected a lot of people. He's made a lot of people money. He was influential to a lot of people as well. So with all of those circles of success, millionaires that came from just being associated or learning from or being signed to him, all of these different groups of people, they may not publicly come out and say things to support him. Some are. Some of them are flying out and hanging on his mansion and shit like that. But he's basically saying that for those people that were affected by Russell Simmons, whatever his generosity was, whatever his philanthropic work was, they're never going to turn their backs on him because, again, like I said earlier, they have not been negatively impacted by whatever his actions were. However, it's problematic because as we see today with Diddy, everybody's pouncing on him. Everybody's shitting on him. But who's going to keep that same energy 4 or 5 years from now when it's safe? When the lawsuits stop coming? When motherfuckers receive whatever kickbacks they're going to get? If there's going to be any financial kickbacks for the people that sued him, or if the lawsuits get tossed out despite whatever evidence they brought to the table, who's going to stand on business with Diddy when he decides he wants to make another album 4 or 5 years from now? Niggas ain't stopped showing up to the studio, Lil Rod. You know what I'm saying? Beforehand, off all the shit we knew about him for stealing from people, you would think you've been stealing from artists and songwriters your entire career. Why would I go in the studio and be with you? But it's Diddy. Billionaire. Ciroc. De Leon. One of the flyest quote-unquote niggas in hip-hop history. Money. It's success. Just being in a room with this nigga. This is from people from the outside looking in. Just being in a room with this guy could change my life. So people decide, they make those decisions based on their own selfish interests. And I'm not saying that they're necessarily wrong, but it also puts you in a position where you become complicit to the bullshit. You become an accessory to the criminology that's going on. And then you want to casually slip your ass out of it when shit go bad. Nah, get in there and support your guy. Support him the same way you was when shit was lovely. Okay? Get your ass in there.
And the people and the powers that be that could literally like make the media campaign overwhelming. Them is peoples.
Russell
They my
Simmons,
niggas.
Russell Simmons has enough people spread throughout the industry that are his people.
Yes,
to your point.
it's my peoples. Like, they'll wage a whole fucking real, you know what I'm saying, a campaign against you if they want to. He is in bed with some of the niggas that have that power to do that. So it's never, ever, ever gonna come. It's not gonna happen.
Also, not to negate anything that he has done, that stuff, but to people that don't have that experience with him, he has been nothing but kind, gentle, sweet, generous, and amazing. If you don't have that horror story with him.
See, that's
But that's the thing. If you don't have that horror story, yeah. But what happened to holding people accountable? What happened to, hold your homeboys accountable if they do some bullshit? And this is something that's permeating through the industry. There's an artist, I won't put her name out there, even though she came out publicly the other day. She's not a big artist. She's an independent artist. But even she came out and said that she was SA'd in a studio session by a rapper that she was collaborating with. And the engineer sat there and watched it happen, didn't do nothing, just chilled. You know what I'm saying? Kept basically acting like he was pressing record. And she was in the booth trying to record her vocals. Nigga snuck up on her, you know what I mean, from behind. And she claims that she was actually physically, sexually raped. Okay? Just to be blunt. And the engineer that was across from them, whatever's going on, I don't know if he assumed that she was just down for the get down, but nobody said nothing. Nobody helped her. Nothing. Right? And at the end, bare minimum, nigga could have said, hey, what y'all got going on in there? Hey, you know what I mean? I don't know if she said she said stop. She wasn't with it. Which, if somebody's in the booth and stuff is going on, she's recording, the engineer can hear what's going on in there. Right? So he heard it. He fucking ignored it. Acted like nothing ever happened. So the lack of accountability, the lack of somebody being willing to say, yo, that's not right. Oh, what the fuck y'all got going on? That's not cool. Just to put it in the air and let that, a lot of niggas are afraid of the energy being redirected to them. They would rather see a woman suffer and get taken advantage of than to have to deal with the repercussions of saying something and a nigga say, nigga, what the fuck? Bitch ass nigga, Because you might not know how to fight. You might not be ready and willing to defend yourself if the nigga divert his attention. So it's better you than me, I guess. Weak ass nigga. You know what I mean? And if ain't nobody willing to call nothing out, everybody's just sitting around just letting shit happen based on their own bitch ass tendencies, you now see how that looks in the mainstream in front of the world where niggas don't stand on business. Everybody talking about standing on business and niggas' legs is buckling like fucking Forrest Gump in real time. We love Usher. He's got nothing but classics. He's got hits. Everybody's, hey, that nigga line up that tour, motherfuckers gonna buy them tickets. But we gotta call a thing, man. Even Kimora Simmons came out and was like, what the fuck is going on? Russell Simmons, thank my brother Usher. He was by my bedside when I woke up. He surprised me. She said, what the hell you talking about? He was by your bedside. Now, I'm not into gay shaming, but it did sound a little questionable. You hear what I'm saying? Usher got a wife. I don't know. We gonna mosey on past that. But we do know Russell Simmons' ex-wife, Kimora Lee Simmons, she woke up and did not approve, okay? That's all I know. And at this point, we're not going to harp on this for too long or beat on a dead horse. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Let me know what y'all think of all of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. We're going to have daily content coming for you. I'm trying to ramp it up. Sometimes I get maybe 1 or 2 videos a day. I'm going to try to get 3 out. But y'all got to keep showing up. Make sure that you have all of your post notifications turned on and that you have them on to all. Don't let YouTube just let you subscribe and put on personalized or nothing like that. If you want to see all of the content, just double check and make sure that your notifications are set to all so that when the next notification goes up, the next video goes up, you getting notified. You in the building. You inside with the rest of the insiders. You feel me? This has been another episode of Inside the Industry with J Nolan. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Much love and respect. I'm going to take y'all out with Let's Get It. Be sure to check it out on all streaming platforms if you haven't already. Much love and respect. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.